I believe what scared me the most was the realism it brought. Often I was worried, just as I am now, that I wouldn't wake up. The looming fear of being forever trapped in this vast emptiness ate at my very soul, like rats gnawing on a corpse. I will describe this world and its oddities as best as I can, as I have only seen so little of it. Visually, this world is always gray, neither dark nor light, just gray. Thick clouds covered the overhead, unmoving as if they were painted there, and a dense fog surrounded me at all angles, about a mile in every direction from where I stood. These too were still, never swirling or bending as mist should, just frozen. The only structure in this lifeless gray was, oddly enough, a 3-story parking garage in which I stood on top of, and it too was devoid of any vibrancy. Beyond the parking structure was a vast, nearly motionless onyx ocean that I had only dared look down in not but a handful of times. There was no motion here, no wind, no waves, though, on occasion, I could hear an echoed dripping from somewhere in the lower levels of the structure that I would not venture, despite the stairs leading down to them. This place was neither cold nor hot, day or night, and I never felt as though this place were good or evil. It was just here, completely neutral to all things. I wonder why I'm here, why my mind has built up this empty grayness that swallows me so, draining my very being. What purpose has it? Am I to travel to the water and see what lay beneath its glassy surface? Or perhaps I was to try and swim beyond the mist. I wouldn't. No, I couldn't. Not even now, as I stand here atop this structure in the dead center of this horrid world, could I bring myself to do such things as to touch the blackness. Never. But what if... No, I couldn't do it. Even death eludes this place. Death and time. How long had I been asleep? Had it been minutes or days? Would it matter? Would anyone do so much as to make a phone call to check on me? I should think not. I would be forgotten, tossed into the void with all the unimportant people who died without so much as a whisper. I contemplate my actions for this visit here in the lifeless gray, and consider the impossible. Yes, this time I would see what lay beyond the stairwell. I wouldn't call it fear, though, as I approached the door that I had seen countless times but never dared enter, but anxiety. The unknown of what could be churned my stomach, but the idea of falling into blackness gnawed at the back of my mind. 1,000,000 things could rest beyond what I knew to be true. 1,000,000 things, or nothing. And I did not know which was more terrifying. The door handle was absent of any temperature or notable texture, following the pattern of the rest of this place. Surprisingly, the door opened with a very loud squeal, which chilled me to my very soul. Though my heart raced, I found myself trotting down the stairs which, fitting to this world of unknowns and oddities, seemed to go on forever. The farther down I went, the deeper my panic would become, slowly taking over. My breath became heavy, and the stress set in my chest. Could this be it? An endless winding of stairs. Was this the blackness? Suddenly I found myself missing the surface of this cursed place when, out of nowhere, I could hear some sort of dragging. It sounded like someone was crawling or rolling around on a pavement floor. My heart sank. What horrors crept in this empty vastness? I had made it this far. I couldn't stop now. I wouldn't, though I wish I had. As I made my way through the only open doorway I had seen in ages, I saw what was making such an awful sound. It was me. Hundreds of me, all entwined together like a mess of ivy. They writhed and kicked at one another as if they were trying to swim through a sea of themselves, all heading the same direction. I watched in horror as the hundreds of me struggled like maggots to get over one another. True fear had finally caught up with me, and I fell to my knees and vomited. What torture ensued in this room would surely haunt me even after I woke from this incessant night terror. I wheezed and whined, trying to find the strength to move when I heard the crunch of bones being broken and the ripping of flesh. In the far left corner was a massive head laying on its side. Its giant, lidless eyes darted frantically around the room as the naked me's crawled into its mouth. It was eating me, the hundreds of me, chomping down, mouth open on my bones and flesh and innards. I vomited again as the putrid gore oozed from its gaping neck hole. The room stopped as its eyes locked on me. Nothing moved. The sounds stopped. My heart beat so fast and so hard it shook my body. I was frozen. I dared not move, not even to blink. But I wish I had run. The head had started screaming and groaning violently, and in an instant, every single one of me in that room turned and started towards me. They swarmed like rats and tore at my clothes and flesh, dragging me to the head. The closer I came, the louder the screaming would get. I couldn't get away. It was too late. Soon I would feel the intense pressure and immense pain of my legs being torn away by massive teeth. I was being eaten, and with the last bite being pressed against my skull, I knew there was no chance of me ever waking up. Hi guys, it's Lady Dreadful. I just wanted to take a minute and thank all of you for taking time out of your day to watch my content. On the screen, you'll see my Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. On the other side of that screen, you will also see my newest shirt called Don't Look Behind You. The link for that will be in the description below. Also in that description, you'll find a link to SPOOKSCARES channel, which this video was originally typed for to be put in a compilation video with him and a couple of other narrators. So go subscribe to him, because without him, this video would not have been made. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to do more just like this. So until next time, remember, always be wary of what you summon, and always be dreadful. Good night.